everybody. My name is Colton. I'm a third generation dairy farmer out here in northern Utah. My family's been farming here for a number of years now, and I've always felt that there's something really special about what we do and who we are as farmers, and especially about our farm in particular. Obviously growing up here, I spent an awful lot of time getting to be around this great place. You can see some of this here behind me, just at the foothill of these mountains behind me. We run a few hundred acres of irrigated land, and it's everything for me and for my family. And all I've ever wanted to do is to be here, to work with my parents and my siblings, and get to kind of share in this experience with them. And I felt for a long time that what we have is special, and that there's a lot of people even close by here that maybe don't quite understand what it is that we do, what goes into farming, and what makes everything tick. We had an experience in the last 24 hours that I feel like is worthy of sharing, and to try to follow the example of some great farm tubers out there on the internet right now that do a great job of sharing their stories of what it's like to be a farmer and to try to operate this kind of business. I wanted to share our story a little bit of what's been happening here on this property that we've been on for a really long time, and we've spent a lot of years saving, working, doing all that we can to build this place up to what it is. And yesterday I got a call about 6 o'clock in the evening saying that we had a hay fire, and here we are almost 24 hours after that, and I slept for a few hours, but aside from that, I've been here working with the family, going through everything, and this is what's left. We had two sheds here. This is a 30-foot by 120-foot open hay barn. Also had our commodities in there, as well as a bunch of farm equipment, and then also we have a 60-foot by 100-foot hay barn, both completely full of equipment and hay, and it's all gone. All of these buildings we built with our hands. All of us kids, we worked with my dad over summers, years, building everything, putting everything together, and in a matter of just a few hours it was all gone. And in addition to that, we also don't have feed for our cows going into this winter. We have over here 120 milking cows, Holsteins, and this was 98% of their feed, maybe 99. We have a few bales that happen to be stacked outside here, and aside from that, we're 100%, or I guess 98% out of feed. If you're not familiar with how farming works, you can't produce feed year-round, at least in an area like this. So you've got a few months every year to make that happen. And on this acreage out behind me, it's all irrigated. We work basically from usually March or April through October, raising and harvesting crops. And those crops we spend a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of risk going to invest in those and get them put together to be here, so that we have feed for our livestock through the winter. And we had that. We worked our butts off all summer and put up some great hay, even in tough drought conditions. We did a magnificent job. My dad especially did a great job navigating everything, spreading our water how it needed to be, and we were packed to the gills. We had enough feed to last through winter, and now, in the matter of just a few hours, it's all gone. We haven't run the numbers yet, but I think we had somewhere around 500 to 700 tons of hay in that shed at $250 a ton. You guys can do the math on what that adds up to. The buildings themselves, obviously with building materials the way they are right now, the thought of rebuilding those and affording that is honestly kind of sickening. And there's just a lot to take in. But this is farming. This is what we sign up for every day. My dad always joked every day growing up, son, the reason I don't go to Vegas and gamble is because I do that every day. We do that here on the farm. We have a lot of resources that can be volatile, that are incredibly risky. And again, just in the matter of a few hours, it can go from rosy to all of this. And I'll walk around here in a second, kind of show you a little bit more of what all is going on here. But it's a weird mix of emotions, guys. I'll be honest. This is not something that we take lightly. Obviously, we have spent a great deal of time putting all these buildings together over a number of years, and then along with just this year's crops just being gone, it's a huge loss. There's no other way to put it. Emotionally, physically, financially, it's terrible. It literally is the worst thing that's happened on this farm ever. And but out of that and the tears that we've shed over this place, there's a lot of good that's happened, and that should not be any surprise given the place that we live and the great friends and neighbors and people that we have surrounding us. I'll go through some of those things that have happened that have impressed me, and help you guys understand why it's so unique to be a farmer, and why we kind of cherish the relationships that we do, and how we really all work together to make it all happen. Today's been kind of crazy, so I finally got some time here that I can actually explain kind of what happened. So again, like I said earlier, there's two buildings here. This one that's immediately right here behind us, this is more of a commodity type shed and equipment storage. And then behind it is the large hay shed as well. And we believe the fire started in the hay shed and spread over to this one. They're pretty close. We had a lot of equipment parked here in the end. We got our call about this about 6 o'clock last night. And by 6:10, both of these sheds were completely engulfed. But we were able to get almost all of our equipment out of here. We had a baler, a tractor, our combine was the last thing to come out. I pulled that out, and right then it was just completely engulfed, this whole shed. If you look right over the top, you can see our combine header did not make it out. It was just too much fire at that time for us to get in there to pull that out. And we were unable to pull out any of the hay. It was just, by that point, everything was so widespread that we just couldn't do anything. But you can see kind of the aftermath here. The hay's still burning right now, and it will continue to burn. It's really the best thing for us right now, just because the longer it burns, the less we need to haul off. All of this feed now is all contaminated with metal, with nails, string that's melted. So all of this has to go to a landfill. And so again, the longer it burns, the less trips we'll have to make to the landfill, and the quicker hopefully we can get this done. But we understand this is all new to us, but it's supposed to be, maybe somewhere around a couple days, and we should be able to start actually doing some work as far as cleaning up and kind of getting after things. But again, like I said earlier, both of these buildings were built by us. They're both pole barn construction, all wood. And they are, they're completely gone. Some of the really cool things that have happened as we've kind of gone about is we found this, like we already knew, we're surrounded by amazing people. We have a ton of different neighbors and family members and things that miraculously were just right here, just in the time, that like 10-minute window when we found the fire and we're working on getting the equipment out. We had probably at least 20 people working on it here, both people from town and people from our family, even our family members from Texas that happened to just be in the area, which is just mind-blowing. But throughout the evening, we had probably I think now easily over 100, probably almost 200 people here helping. I mean, at that point there really wasn't much to do. It was really just up to the firefighters at that point. We had fire departments out here from 5 or 6 different cities that were out here really fast and worked great. Most of them stayed through the night to kind of keep tabs on things. As you can see over here, it's extremely close to my parents' house. The one shed is probably 100 feet, maybe, from the house. And then on the other side here, we have a bunch of animals that are even immediately behind this shed here that was on fire, as well as all of our livestock that were down in this end. And through all that, once we got the equipment out, we immediately started to work on the livestock. We took all these ones and just turned them loose. Everything down here we pushed back just to try to keep them out of the smoke, out of the heat. And that was really just a crazy kind of experience. If you look right here, this is one of the craziest things. When we built, well, I guess we rebuilt, this shed actually fell down once when we built it back again. We have these 2 telephone poles that are still standing. I guess there's 3 of them. Between these 2, to kind of put some rigidity in the building, we have this is a 5-inch drill casing, really heavy walled stuff, and that was attached to every rafter across the building, and it was attached with that bracket to that telephone pole. And you can see that it was really hot because it bent that pipe like nothing. And it's just amazing what kind of heat was coming out of this, and still is at this point. It's just crazy. So we'll take a walk over here and show you what it looks like on the other side, and what the cows are doing right now. So over here this is the north end of the property. We have some fuel tanks with over 1,000 gallons of fuel that were right in the thick of things. We were able to get all this straw and pulled away from it with a backhoe, some quick acting people, just to protect those from getting engulfed in flames too. But you can see over here, all of our cows have been taken care of. They're all back in their stalls. Everything was cleaned and bedded today. They're happy. They're in good shape. All right, so this area right here where I'm standing was actually where all of our calf hutches were. These are all of our newborn calves. We've since moved them. These are the first animals that we evacuated just from the heat of that blaze. They're all nestled in another part of the farm right now. You can see right here, this is all the commodity area. All that's obviously filled in. That's where we had all of our different grains and things that we were feeding with, which is all toast as well. This shed right here had 650 tons of alfalfa. At one point we had 14 different fire trucks, even just at one point 18 different firefighters on top of our corn pit over there, just trying to protect that feed. And for the most part we did pretty good, I believe, of protecting that. We'll find out. We'll have to retarp some of it. It melted, but that's still what we're doing right now, is still just protecting that feed over there, because obviously all of this stuff we know is a total loss. This shed right here, this was 60 feet wide, 100 feet long, 18 feet high, filled with alfalfa, dry alfalfa. Next to this shed over here, you can see burning next to that equipment was straw. We had a line of straw bales over there, and that was that's kind of what pulled the fire from over here into this building and took this whole thing with it as well. Like I said before though, we've had so many people. Again, we've had hundreds of people on the property now, including a lot of gawkers that have been driving by pretty slow. This has obviously drawn a lot of attention. We made the newspaper, which is cool. But the coolest part is just the fact that all the different farmers and our neighbors that have come together to help us out. This is an incredibly tough time for our family. We've lost almost everything. This is huge. This is a huge part of our family, what we've done to sacrifice and put together. And we're about 23 hours from when it ignited, and it's still burning. And it's hard to wrap our heads around. We're incredibly grateful for everybody that has brought food, that's brought help, and willing hands to get dirty and help us with the animals and help us with cleanup. we have a long ways to go, and we have a lot of hay that we're going to be needing to track down. I actually just unloaded a load of hay just a few minutes ago tonight from a neighbor that brought us a load of hay, and so we have a long way to go, and to get to to our next crop here in June of 2022. But we're surrounded by so many people that have been offered to help, that are going to be right there with us through every step of the way. We aren't unique. This has happened to us. This happens. It's just never happened to us. And so we've helped with neighbors. We've seen this happen in the past. But when it happens to you, it's just a completely different feeling. And I just wanted to give you guys kind of a window into what we're doing here. I can't get to all my texts or calls. This is a great way, hopefully, for you guys to understand kind of what is going on here, what's happening, and kind of what the implications are kind of for a farm long term because of this. We have a lot of cows to feed, we have a lot of bills to pay still, and a lot of work to do. And so we'll try to keep you guys updated along the way. Again, we appreciate so much all of you guys' help.